praiseforwarwear.com.
Hello everyone, how are you today? I am super excited to be joining you. Once it's 4 p.m. Central Time, I will be here and I will be sharing with you in my global classroom, from my global classroom. And we teach family life, we teach parenting, marriage, and personal development in here. I am super excited. So let me know where you're joining from today. For those of you joining on YouTube, for those of you joining on Facebook, please go to the comment box and let me know where you are joining from. I am super excited and I want to say thank you very much for those of you who joined the broadcast last week and many of you who later went back to watch it. Now, so where are you today? Where are you joining me from? Please go to the comment box. Now, I am super excited about what we have to share today. Now, we've been talking about parenting, and last week I brought you into the, I brought you to understand the 4 types of parents that exist, and I'm glad that you guys found it very, very useful today. I want to open you up into a parenting template. Thank you very much, Boalia. I want to believe that's from Zambia. Now, I want to open you up into something that I believe will help you, because what I have done over time is to study what works across different cultures of the world. Wherever I see something that has stood the test of time, produced a verifiable result, what I try to do is to study it and I build a framework around it. Now, if you mention Elon Musk, it generates all kinds of feelings, from people feel that he's erratic to people feel that, he's the richest man in the world as at now, November 2022, to people who actually feel that the guy is just some guy who loves to blow money, to guys who feel is the number one brain in the world. There are so many things that people feel about Elon Musk. The name evokes all kinds of emotions, basically, right? And so I love the fact that when you mention Elon Musk, it means several things to several people. For the last 1 week, I have listened to Elon Musk every day. He's actually one of my favorite innovators, because for an African guy to go to Canada, land in the US, and for him to be able to produce the result he's producing, it's massive. I believe that's so incredible, right? So I want you to come in as we begin to look at how to raise an Elon Musk, because it's not about who he has become. It's the fact that his parents, especially his mother, created a template that has produced 3 global icons. If it was just Elon Musk, we can say, okay, maybe that was an happenstance. But the fact that his brother and his sister are also global leaders in their respective field speaks volume that there must have been some systems that was put in place that work. Now, here's the challenge. Some of you have children in your hand that maybe as gifted as Elon Musk are children who have the potential and the capacity to be bigger than Elon Musk, but can your system that you have created, can it produce an Elon Musk? For example, maybe you are from a religious family. If you have an Elon Musk who begins to talk about, I'm a scientist, who begins to talk less about religion and God, what are you going to do to him? Are you not going to convert him to a talking drama or a worship leader, or you're going to make him into an usher? There is nothing wrong with that, absolutely. However, there is a level of scripting that a child is subjected to that can take away his power and that can mess up, what the child, is supposed to become. So consistently, when I ask parents, that what is the seed in your hand? They don't know. So if you don't know the identity of the seed, then how do you know the type of soil you're supposed to plant that seed? How do you know the right season? How do you know the right environment that you are supposed to plant that seed? Thank you, Odetola, for joining Mulenga Buaya. I'm so passionate about intentional parenting. So your work is mighty blessing. I believe in systems and framework. Thank you very much for joining. So you guys join me today as I get into how Elon Musk was raised. You may have an Elon Musk in your hand or someone who is bigger than Elon Musk. What are you going to do differently? Now, Parenting is a science. Please note, parenting is not spooky. Parenting is not a mystery. People have tried to mystify it and turn it into something that they believe, so you need some magical power or some supernatural power to produce a certain type of child. The truth is, there are templates that can produce an outcome if you are very intentional. Terrorists don't pray and say, God, we commit this child into your hand. We want him to become a suicide bomber. They never do that. So how are they able to radicalize a child to become a suicide bomber? If evil can be conditioned, then good can be conditioned. So parenting is a science that can be taught and mastered if we open our minds to deploy the best strategy that delivers the desired outcome. Are you with me? Now, I created the 4 quadrants of parenting many years ago, I think about 7 years ago, where we talked about the concept of the seed owner, the seed handler, and the seed environment, where the seed is the child, the seed handler is you, the parent, the seed owner is God, and the seed environment are culture, religion, and every surrounding and supporting system that parents actually take a child through in their bid to grow the child. Now, how do you raise a child who dares the impossible and believes in himself against all odds? Do you have that child in your family right now who believes in himself absolutely, can argue with you, and he will always find his way? Now, what do you do to that child? Don't you call that child stubborn? Don't you call that child rebellious? Don't you say to that child that you are disrespectful, so you need to obey your parent? How do you raise the founder of PayPal, SpaceX, and Tesla Motors? How do you raise that kind of a child who his father says stay in the University of Pretoria and the guy took off to Canada? How do you raise that child? Are you not going to curse the child? Are you not going to get upset with the child? How do you raise this restless techpreneur who just overtook Warren Buffett? I mean, as at the time I was working on this research, it was number 6 in the world, but now Elon Musk is number 1 in the world. As a matter of fact, the gap between Elon Musk as number 1 richest person in the world in 2022 and the second richest person, it's a lot right now. Will you allow your child lead humanity to Mars? If you have a child who says, Daddy, I don't want to pray, I don't want to join prayer meeting, I don't want to be a Muslim, I just want to take humanity to space, I want to be a scientist, will you allow your child to lead that future? If you have a child asking questions that you can't answer, how are you going to deal with that child? I need you to answer in the comment box. Are you sure your system can raise that kind of child right now? Okay, so follow me carefully as I talk to you about one of my favorite innovators and inventors. He was born, Elon Musk, on June 28, 1971, to a South African father and a Canadian mom who has an American heritage. So note that the mother is from Canada, but she has an American heritage. He briefly attended the University of Pretoria before moving to Canada when he was 17 to attend Queen's University. He transferred to the University of Pennsylvania 2 years later. He co-founded with his brother Kimbak Zip2, a web software company which was acquired by Compaq for $340 million in 1999. Musk then founded X.com, an online bank. He merged with Confinity in 2000, which had launched PayPal with the previous year and was subsequently bought by eBay for $1.5 billion in October. Okay. In May 2002, Musk founded SpaceX, an aerospace manufacturer and space transport service company. He joined Tesla Motors, an electrical vehicle manufacturer, in 2004 and became the CEO in October 2008. Now, I want you to follow his trajectory. Now, the question you want to ask is, how was this enigma raised? What framework was used to raise this icon? There were the things I found from my research. Number 1, check your heritage and how it can serve your child. If you don't like your heritage, change it. And this specifically goes to a lot of our parents in Africa. Now, part of what you understand about parenting is that, a good man leaves inheritance for his children's children. That inheritance is your name. That inheritance can actually, your second citizenship can be a leverage. If you're from a country where your passport does not go beyond maybe 25 countries, right? You know that you have the capacity to correct that and change that, right? It's not God's will for your potential to be stifled in a particular country. So the concept of relocation, second citizenship, it's not a godless decision. Sometimes a godly decision. Even Jesus, the Son of God, escaped to Egypt, right? So you need to understand that At the point Elon Musk was talking to his father to say he knew that his destiny would never find expression in South Africa, that he needed to leave South Africa, and his father was unwilling to do that. If his mother was not a Canadian who had an American heritage, he would have been stuck. Now, imagine what could have happened to Tesla, what could have happened to SpaceX, what could have happened to PayPal if this guy never left. Now, so if you check your heritage and how it can serve your child, and you realize that your heritage may likely shrink the potential of your child, you need to do something about it. His dad was South African. His father and mother were the first to fly from South Africa to Australia in a single engine plane. So you can see his genealogy. You need to look back at your history, look back at your patterns in your lineage, look at your father, your grandfather, your great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather, and ask yourself, what is common to all of them? There must be something common in your lineage. Are you pioneers? Are you innovators? Are you guys what's it called? Are you guys producers? Are you guys marketers? Right? Now, Errol, a pilot, sailor, and engineer, raised Ellen and Kimball in the quiet suburbs of Pretoria. So you can see he's from two parents who are exposed, even though their marriage did not work because of domestic violence. And I think that was part of what still affected him till today, where he doesn't have a good relationship with his father. Elon Musk's father, grandmother was Canada's first chiropractor. So you can see that he's from a family of pioneers. His maternal grandfather, Dr. Joshua Eden, was an American-born Canadian. His paternal grandmother was British. So you can see from his lineage, this guy could have gone to England. This guy could have gone to the US. This guy could have gone to Canada. So he has all those options available to him. Can your passport give your children option? Does your citizenship give them option? Does your heritage, your name, the credibility of your name, does it give your children options? Now, there was something his mother said, Maya Musk said, I brought my children up like my parents brought us up when we were young, to be independent, kind, honest, considerate, and polite. I taught them the importance of working hard and doing good things. I didn't treat them like babies or scold them. So African parent with Koboko, you want to beat your child, you want, in the name of, I want to discipline my child, you have become a lion, the lion of the tribe of the children's family, where children run away from you, say, my children are afraid of me. And you pride yourself in that. That is not good for anyone. He said, I never told them what to study. I didn't check their homework. That was their responsibility. Even though maybe you need to check homework now, because depending on the personality style of your child. Now, that was from Maya Musk. Are you still with me? Now, so the first thing you need if you want to raise an Elon Musk is check your heritage and how you can serve your child. Number two, you need to grow yourself and your exposure. Grow yourself and your exposure. You know, I've always thought that your child is the shark. You are the aquarium. You know that the shark never outgrows the aquarium. But if you break the frame in the aquarium and now expand your thought process, wherein you are now an ocean, the shark will grow to its full potential. Many of the children's potential have been stifled by the parents who do not know who that child is capable of becoming, and they do not appreciate the difference the child brings into bear. So you have a child who asks a lot of questions because you couldn't ask your parents' question. You can't stand your child's question, so you begin to tell them to shut up and they should not ask questions. Now, his dad is an chemical engineer, pilot, and sailor. You know that the man is well read. Now, his dad booked him in a tour when computers first came out and managed to get him a discounted computer. He taught himself using disk operating system, which is DOS, to program. Now, imagine when computer first came out, his father was able to afford one and to give him that gift. Now, what are you buying for your children? What are you? So you can see if you don't grow yourself and your exposure, you may damage your children. His mom is a reputable dietitian and runway model who exposed him to entrepreneurship early. So while his father supplied his brain and the genius part of him, his mother supplied the entrepreneurial part of him. He was exposed to books early in his childhood. Reading some of his early readings included Isaac Asimov's Foundation series, from which he drew the lessons that you should try to take the set of action that are likely to prolong your civilization, minimize the probability of a dark age, and reduce the length of dark age if there is one. Then he was an avid reader and taught himself a lot using what he read, including computer programming, using a manual, and by the age of 12, sold the code of basic base video game he created called Blaster. He warned against his dad's decision to remain in South Africa, but in his words, he said, I remember thinking and saying that America is where great things are possible, more than any country in the world. The moment he read that in a book, he began to plan to leave South Africa against his father's wish. If your son says to you, I don't want to live in this country anymore, are you not going to lock up the child and call the whole village and call the entire city to come and be begging the child? Or are you not going to get angry and curse the child? Look at what Elon Musk has become today. Now, there were things that his mother said specifically about him, the Maya Musk's template. Now, these were the things the mother said about Elon Musk and about how she raised them. Now, thank you very much, Shane Wobishason, for joining. Thank you, Yinasim Alibewasa, watching from New Zealand. Thank you for joining. Number one, she said that to raise a child like Ellen and his brother, his siblings, one, become a value-adding heritage to give option. What that means is you need to have a value-adding heritage. Make sure that your passport is not a curse. Your international passport must not be a curse to your children. So, for example, if your child is very, very brilliant and your child wants to go to Japan, can your child just buy a ticket, or does it need to go through an embassy? I remember what it took me to start flying to the UK. I was bounced a number of times, no matter my intelligence. Once I didn't have the account required, I never got a visa. I remember how many times US said no to me before I began to now travel. And when I got to a point, I decided to go for O1 visa and EB1 visa, which is a special talent and extraordinary visa. Today, I have been, certified fit, and I have the two. Now, so it's very easy for me to travel to different countries right now, simply because I decided to change what was limiting me. So you need to check yourself and ask, what is our heritage? Look through your family. What is common in your genealogy? That seed is in your child. But also, what can stop your child? Your child is intelligent. Is it money? Is it education? Where should your child be schooling? You don't want your child to school in a place where, lecturers are on strike for one whole year. The children are home doing nothing. No, you want to change that. You were born into a country. I always say to people, all this emotionalism about, oh, this is where I was born, I must die there. No, the universe just wanted you on this planet, and your port of entry was the nation you were born into. Now, whosoever you now become, it's your choice. Number two, she said, put your children to work at an early age, but don't take away their play. Let them find their play within their work. Foster entrepreneurship. My son, I remember before, when he was 10, started selling newspapers because I needed to teach him how money works. So they will pack newspapers to him in Canada. He will go and sell the newspaper. So when he ended his first pay, it was $20. So I said to him, David, let's go for ice cream. But today you're going to pay because you have now earned your pay. You know what he said to me? He said, Dad, are you for real? How do I spend $20 that I made with my blood on ice cream? No, I'm going to save this. Now he began to understand how money works. So what are you doing with your children? Are you saying they are too young? My children started cooking when they were 6. We were supervising them. Today, everybody cooks. They know how to mop the floor. They know how to do a whole lot of things. So you need to allow your children play. You need to allow them work. Let them learn entrepreneurship, right? They will stand a chance in the future if they can master selling skills. Selling skill is the number one skill that can serve you in any nation you find yourself. And selling skill will help them master and overcome rejection. Number 3, treat them like adults without stealing their childhood. Teach independence. Don't steal your children's childhood. Many of us, our children's play remind us of what life has taken away from us. And because we can't stand what life has taken away from us, we now try to stop the children's play. So you begin to say, you play too much. Get serious, get serious, get serious, get serious. You are the serious one. Where exactly are you? Who have you become with your seriousness? You don't know that there was a damage that was done to you because the best learnings are learned in the atmosphere of play. Why do we say it's as simple as ABC? ABC is not simple. It was the way we learned it. We learned it singing songs, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. It was fun. And that was many of the things you learned in the atmosphere of fun. You have not forgotten them. Next one is let them follow their interest. Your parenting is not a compensation. Your child is not a compensation for what life took away from you. So don't turn your child to fulfill the dream you couldn't fulfill. If he doesn't have the propensity to become a medical doctor, let him find pleasure in his music or whatever he loves to do. Let your children follow their interest. Don't cast your own vision on them. Let them do what they can do effortlessly and they can become the best at. Next, she says, don't get them used to luxury, promote resourcefulness. You don't want to get children to a level where everything they're asking for, oh, I want ice cream, you buy. I want shawarma, you buy. I want pizza, you buy. I want this, you buy. When are they going to learn investment? When are they going to learn to save, right? So you might want to set up a piggy bank where your children can save regularly. So promote resourcefulness. You don't have to buy that designer. Children don't know what designers is. Children just want to look good. In fact, looking good can be a liability because they just want to play. So don't be surprised if your designers wear they throw it away. You don't have to be keeping up with the Joneses and be competing, using your children to compete. Say, oh, my child is better than this because of the way they dress. No, children don't need that. Promote resourcefulness. Then let them take responsibilities for their own future, right? Maya Musk said they never took decisions for Elon Musk and his siblings. They allowed them to take responsibilities for their future. So when he left South Africa and he went to Canada, right, he was sleeping on the floor. And when he called his mother didn't send him money to bail him out. She wanted him to learn to survive, and he did. When he got to the US, he couldn't pay for a house and an office. So he got an office that served a dual purpose. He was sleeping on the table for a while. You can see Elon Musk till tomorrow. That is not someone who is given to flashy things and luxury. It's a guy who is focused. So every money he made, he reinvest it into another innovation. So let your children take responsibilities for their future. Lastly, encourage fearlessness. See, one of the things you must never take away from your children is what is called ferocious curiosity. Ferocious curiosity. You must never take it away from your children. Ensure that their curiosity is very much intact. A lot of us, in our bid to assert our authority as a de facto leader, the lion of the tribe of the home, we kill the children's confidence. We make them become very fearful, that they are afraid of you. They are not confident to make mistakes because dad is going to bully them, mom is going to shout, and mom is going to scream. So you need to understand that Elon Musk, there was a template that raised him, and that same template, you can reproduce it if you understand how it works. So I want to believe that some of you have got children in your family that are actually like Elon Musk, and you have all it takes to raise them to become the best they can be. Now, I'm going to end with this quote by Elon Musk himself. He said, when something is important enough, you do it, even if the odds are not in your favor. I was listening to him 2 days ago, and this guy said, you know what, that he doesn't believe in motivation. He doesn't believe in hope, that if something is important, it just goes uptight and it does it. And you can see the amazing successes he's recording. There are sides to him that maybe I'm not a fan of. However, you cannot fault his creativity. You cannot fault his productivity. Elon Musk is number one in the world today. And it was very important for us to find out, how was this guy raised? I think if we raise fearless children who can stand their ground, that's why I tell Africans, never introduce demons, never introduce masquerades to your children. Let your children be exposed to the things that promote their confidence, not Dracula, not horror movies, things that traumatize them. There were some witches, some wizards. A child does not need that. A child's ferocious curiosity needs to be intact. Let your children be free to question you and ask you questions. Let your children be free to approach you, embrace you. Let them be free to make mistakes, learn from their mistakes, and don't bully them for their mistakes, because you are still making mistakes and nobody's bullying you. Failure is only feedback. Failure doesn't mean that, life is over. It's just research and development material. So you have a child in your hand. He's greater than Elon Musk. What are you going to do differently from today? So listen to this over and over again. Share this with your friends. Let them listen to this over and over again. You see, there is nothing wrong with copying if you can adapt appropriately. Because if we know how, we can replicate and produce the same result. Principles are universal. Application is what is personal. So here are the principles that raised Elon Musk, and I've shared it with you. I hope this has been helpful. By the way, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm going to be in class. I'm going to be helping people clarify their life. The class is for singles and married. If you're single, you want to know who to marry, you want to know where they are, you want to clarify your life and own your life and be happy with yourself, you need to sign up. Sorry. That website is actually not correct. What is trolling is not correct. It's actually Praise Forward Tech. So it's praisefowedtech.com/discovery. Okay, so I just thought to mention that so that you don't miss it. So go ahead and sign up for that class. I'm going to be in class for 2 days. Saturday from I think it's 6 p.m. Central Time, and Sunday I'm going to be in class. We're going to be using a user's manual template. For husband and wife, you need to attend that class as well, because what it will do to you is that it will help you articulate your life, understand yourself better, and find how to bond effectively. That is one of the things that class is going to do to you. Okay, so I've rectified that, so you can look at the website now, right? You will find out how to love. You'll find out what your fantasies are, your deal breakers. You'll find out how you get angry, how you recover from anger. In fact, once you articulate your life in that class, script your life, you're going to run in personality assessment in there, and you show your spouse they shouldn't have a problem relating with you and maximizing the best use of you. You don't want to make that class. I look forward to welcoming you to class. We have about 20 registered people already. Yeah, it's not usually a large class, but you can sign up, but share this with a parent that you know needs this. I'll be back on Thursday once again. I want to appreciate all of you who always join. Mulenga Bualia, thank you very much. Shenwa Bisheson, thank you. Yinaz Wester from New Zealand, it's so good to have you, and everyone who is going to watch this after now. I'll see you some other time. Till then, keep loving, keep living. And I hope this has been very helpful. And if there's something you want me to handle, please drop it in the comment box. I will. And as long as it's family life, behavioral and personal development, you can be sure I am your guy. Have a fantastic evening. Bye-bye.
Do you know what your child user's manual is? Okay, your child user